Here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Everyone's joining in. Video on if possible. It's great to be able to see you and interact with you. You will notice that you are on mute. Hey, those of you that have joined us for the first time today, you weren't here yesterday. Fantastic. So great to have you here. I will be doing a quick introduction. Those of you that were with us yesterday, just as we get underway, can you just pop into the chat? What was some of the takeaways from yesterday? What did you learn? What did you find interesting? Were there any aha moments? Right. So everyone that was here yesterday for day one of the summit, just pop in the chat. What did you learn? What was interesting? What was helpful? We'll be able to share some of the people who are here for their first time today with us into the chat there. I love it. Fantastic. So we have a lot to cover today. Yesterday, if you weren't with us, we talked all about offerings, the product services, big focus around that. We talked about the $300 plus offerings and 3 to 5 offerings and the types of things that are working and not working in visual creative businesses as well. Today is all about mindset. This is like one of my favorite topics because it underpins absolutely everything. Absolutely everything in your creative business. Now, reminder tomorrow, we do have another day of the Creative Business Summit, which is tomorrow, and it's going to be all about pricing. So make sure you come to that one because it is going to be a really, really powerful one. It's a pretty fascinating topic, and we're going to be going deep tomorrow as well. Now, those of you that don't know me, weren't here yesterday, or a bit of a reminder, I'm Logan Elliott, work under the brand Flammable Entrepreneur. I had my own creative business for 11 years. And these days, I help people to grow their visual creative business. So, my background is that, yes, I have a master's in entrepreneurship, and I've always been passionate about the intersection of business as well as creativity as well. I used to do a lot of working with universities right up to a master's level as well, a lot of teaching, lecturing, mentoring. I did that for quite a number of years. And then these days, I'm full-time helping people to grow creative businesses themselves. So the type of people we tend to work with very much in the visual creative space. So that means graphic designers, illustrators, muralists, people in surface pattern design. It's quite a wide range of different areas within that. Some people are early stage, trying to get started, trying to get things moving. Some people are like, hey, I'm already doing it. I've got a bunch of clients. I'm making some revenue, but I need to get it to be more sustainable, right? And then the third group that we work with occasionally are people who are like, hey, I've been doing this for a very long time, but I need more sustainability in my business. I want to find more balance, maybe diversify the offering. Sometimes there are even people that have been in business for 10 or 20 years. So everyone's a visual creative. We tend to work with people who are mostly in the US or Canada, but we occasionally work with people outside of US and Canada as well. Now, those of you that weren't with us yesterday, may be very confused about my accent. I am from New Zealand originally, but I am based on the East Coast of the US, actually in Richmond, Virginia, which is great. So, on that note, let's all drop in the chat. Where are you today? Where are you today? Just pop it in the chat. We'll see where everyone is. It's always interesting to see. Thank you, those of you that were with us yesterday as well. Popping in the chat some of the different things that you learned as well. We covered a lot. Definitely love that everyone enjoyed the $300 minimum, all those good things there. So if you weren't with us, have a quick read of some of the things there. And just having a look here. Amazing. Fantastic. Great. Hey, that's so great. Detroit, New York, LA. Here we go. Australia. Fantastic. Louisiana. Washington, Vicky. I love it. This is so good. And it's also really great just seeing, yeah, who's with us today as well. Absolutely fantastic. We do also have Paul and Celeste from my team are here with us today as well, supporting in the background there as well. Cool. So we are going to be doing a really interesting bit of a freebie at the end. I've got a downloadable freebie that I'll be sharing with you. So make sure you do stick around till the end of the call. Remember that we need to get beyond the theory and the ideas. I talked about this yesterday as well, but we've got to get beyond kind of the, taking notes, coming up with ideas. This is fantastic. We're going to do a bunch of that today, but we've also got to really look at how can we actually take action. Right. The reason I was teaching at universities right up to that master's level was because they needed more action and implementation in their programs. Right. I think it's something that we all know and see is that often university programs have a lot of great theory, but they kind of really struggle when it comes to that real world application. So that's why I was doing a bunch of contract work because I'm really passionate about bringing the actual actionable implementation things to this teaching as well. So really, really important. Today, make sure you've got your notepad, make sure you've got a doc open on your computer, make sure you've got something that you can actually write down and take notes on, because we are going to be taking some notes and there will be lots to learn here today. So the first thing that I want you to write down, and this is just on your own document, you don't need to put this in the chat. I want you to rank how good your mindset is in terms of confidence, right? Confidence and confidence of thinking like a business owner. 1 to 10, 1 being low, 10 being really high, right? So just on your own note, on your own notepad there, just write down, where do you think your confidence as a business owner or thinking like a business owner is at? Is it through the roof, a 10, really, really high? Is it a 1 and you're like, I'm not a business owner, I don't feel like a business owner at all, right? Just pop it down just for you to have a bit of a reference of where you are coming from right now. And something that I often say to our clients is that there's always room to improve, right? So even if you are an 8 or a 9, like, let's notch that up a little bit today. Or if you're way down at a 1 or a 2, okay, great. There's an opportunity to really improve that confidence, that mindset. So I'm going to ask the question, and I want people to add this to the chat. Why does mindset matter? Right? Why does mindset matter? Why do we care about mindset when it comes to growing a creative business? Like, why am I dedicating today of the summit to mindset? Obviously, yesterday, yes, an important topic, offerings. Today, mindset, tomorrow, pricing. But like, why is it mindset? So just pop something in the chat. Why is mindset an important thing in a visual creative business? Have a bit of a stab, have a bit of a go, whether you're on video or not. Just pop something in the chat. Why does mindset matter? Why is it important? Why do we care about it? I love the things popping in the chat here. I think your subconscious beliefs influence your actions and reality in ways you don't even realize. Casey, I love that. So, so powerful. Definitely. Mindset creates your reality. I love that. It's so, so good. It's the foundation. Yes, Vicky, for sure. You have to believe in you for others to believe in you. There's some amazing things being popped here in the chat. And it's all true. It's all right. And the truth is that ultimately mindset underpins absolutely everything. Right? Your ability to action ideas and move the business forward is going to be all dependent on your mindset, right? Things like how confident you are, if you have an abundant mindset, if you have a growth mindset, right? This is going to underpin absolutely everything, right? When it comes to marketing or even the creative side or having to do outreach or having to post on Instagram, right? These things are all connected, right? Some other things being shared here in the chat. Corinne sharing healthy mindset to build clarity and confidence to go after your goals. Nice. And then mindset matters because without a strong mindset, nothing positive can follow. It's such an incredibly powerful thing, right? And yes, it can feel a little kind of like woo-woo mindset. Well, it's incredibly important and incredibly powerful, right? So that's why we are going to keep taking you through this from here. So, so good. So look, raise your hand, those of you on video, raise your hand if you feel like you're a creative business owner right now, right? If you're like, yes, I feel like I am a creative business owner right now. I'm not seeing too many hands, a couple there. Okay, good. I love that. I love the kind of like, well, kind of, yeah, right. And I think this is kind of an interesting one because the truth is that a lot of people who are creative business owners don't really feel like they actually are. Right. So I'm sure there's people here that are like, well, I'm just starting out, Logan. Like, I'm not really. Okay, I get that. But I'm sure there's people here who are like, well, like, I kind of am. Right. And it's interesting, isn't it? We use those words kind of. I kind of am doing this. It might be like, oh, I'm kind of like more of a freelancer, or it's like just me, or like I'm not really like registered as a limited liability company, an LLC. Right. It's like, no, you can still be a creative business owner. Right. And I talk to people all the time who are like, oh, I'm not really. And then I'm like, oh, so what are you doing right now? And they're like, oh, I'm working with some clients, I'm getting paid. And I'm like, your own business, right? You are already, but part of it is sometimes accepting that piece of it as well. Right. So the first thing I'm going to talk about here when it comes to mindset is understanding that becoming your successful self is actually something that you need to believe before you see the change, right? There's this quote which basically says, be the change before you can see the change. right? So in order to achieve something you've never achieved before, you often have to become someone who has the habits, mindset, and the ability to achieve the goals, right? So part of it is actually thinking ahead and going, hey, if I want to earn 5K, 10K, 15K per month, okay, well, what are the behaviors of someone that would be doing that? And how can I start to behave that way now? Right? What time would you wake up in the morning if you were earning $10,000 per month in your visual creative business? What would you eat for lunch? How would you interact with the world? How would you email clients? What type of proposal would you be sending? There's many of these things that you can actually start doing now, even if you're not where you want to be yet. Right? It's a really interesting thing. It's kind of almost backwards. Right? It's, hey, we kind of need to believe it before we are it. Right? So part of it here is understanding that there's a lot you can do right now that can actually start you thinking like someone who is doing these things, who is earning these amounts, who is operating that level. So powerful. So what I'd love everyone to do, pop in the chat. We're going to keep this quite interactive today. Pop in the chat. What's one thing you can do right now, start doing right now to act more like a professional creative business owner? Right? What's one thing that you can do? If everyone can pop something in here, even if you're on your phone today, that's totally fine. Just type it out. What's one thing you could do to be more of a creative business owner, to act more like a creative business owner? I'm not saying you have to do it. I'm just saying, what could you do? What's something that you could do to start actually operating like a professional creative business owner? Just give everyone a moment to mull over that one. What could you start doing? And it could be that when you wake up. It could be even what you start wearing, right? If you're earning 10K per month, how would you dress each day? Whether you work from home or go to an office, whatever that looks like, what could you do? Steve, schedule a clarity call with you. I love that. It's so interesting, right? People have put in here discipline. I love that. Discipline with consistent outreach. Paul, I love that one you've added. Exercise regularly to keep up a strong body, which supports life's efforts. We're going to talk more about that one, Vicky, as well, because that's such a good one. I love that. Get a business coach. Yeah, make a plan. Get serious about it. And it's kind of interesting. People we do actually end up working with, they often say to us, they're like, I don't think I'm 100% ready, but I feel like it's time to take that next step to actually start doing these things, right? The truth is that, yes, stars aren't always going to align, but most people reach a point where they're like, you know what, like I need to take this more seriously. And that's sometimes why people end up working with us as well. Karen, writing out goals and align with your potential clients. Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. Getting clear on what do you actually want? What are you actually working towards? Set dedicated proper shifts and communicate that with my husband so we treat it like a real job. Absolutely, Jillian, I love that. So powerful. Self-confidence, Geneva, nice bit of marketing. Schedule meetings with local potential clients, Heath. I love that. There's so much good stuff being in here. Start believing that it's possible. Andrea, like such an important one, right? You've often actually got to believe that you are worthy of where you want to go before you go there. And that's kind of hard because you're like, I don't really have proof yet. But the truth is that belief is something that you can absolutely work on. Right? So really understanding there's kind of some things here that you need to shift in terms of how you think. Even if you're like not there right now, what can you start doing to start thinking more like that successful version of yourself? And like all of these things here that people have mentioned are absolutely doable things, right? You don't have to be earning X amount per month to be able to do many of these things, right? Yes, I get it. There's not always time to do absolutely everything. Some of you are balancing young families. Some of you are balancing day jobs. Some of you are balancing your creative business already or other commitments. But what could you start doing? Is there one thing in the list here that someone else has shared that you could start doing tomorrow? Or you could take some time this afternoon after this workshop to put some time in and do. It could even just be something that takes a small amount of time. Okay, next thing I'm going to talk about is what I call growing through discomfort. growing through discomfort. This is a really interesting one because part of it here is that we do need to understand there's probably going to be some uncomfortable tasks and things you're going to need to do that lead to the growth that you need to have. Right? It's not all going to be in flow, roses, feeling good. There's going to be times where there's fear, discomfort, resistance. Now, there is a saying that we hear come up, and look, it has some truth in it, but sometimes people say, oh, it doesn't resonate with me. Right? I think we've all said that to ourselves, right? And sometimes it's a very fair and reasonable thing to think or say. However, we've also got to note that that can be a blocker. Because how can something resonate with you if you've never experienced or done it before? Of course, it's not going to resonate with you. Of course, it's not going to feel natural, easy, or in flow. Right? So we've really got to understand there is a bit of a myth there, this idea of only following what resonates. And we've got to understand, like, is it something that doesn't really resonate, or is it just something that's uncomfortable growth? Right? Uncomfortable growth. We all have fears that come up. We all have that resistance. We all have that other little voice that can go like, no, don't do it. It's too dangerous, too scary. Stay at home. Stay in the day job. Right? We all have those voices. But the truth is that you can grow. There's probably just going to be some discomfort along the way. And I'm not saying just keep growing through pain and it's all going to be a nightmare and difficult. No, like, yes, we want to get to things where it's easier and you are in more of a flow state, but there's going to be growth through it. And that growth can be quite uncomfortable. Another piece I'm going to talk about around this idea of growing through discomfort is to help you to understand that failure is also learning. I'm going to say that again. Failure is also learning. Sometimes when we fail, we think we've done something wrong, we made a mistake, we did it wrong, we are a failure. Well, the truth is that failure is going to be part of the journey as well. The key important point, though, is what do you learn from that? And experiencing that, how do you build more resilience and keep moving beyond the failure? Take it to the next challenge. Right? So understanding that failure is also learning is incredibly important. And successful people who have done these things that you may want to do, earning more money, maybe leaving a day job, taking your business to the next level, getting more clients, whatever it is, the truth is that people who have done those things, they have so many stories of failure. Right? Like, there's some crazy stories about the things that have gone wrong. Right? Yes, they kind of laugh about them now. But we've got to understand that those failures actually led them to where they are because they learned, they grew, they worked through the discomfort, and they kept going. Right? Sometimes what can happen is we can kind of fail something, right? Something goes wrong. Maybe you try and work with a client, doesn't work out. You have to give a refund, whatever went wrong. Okay. And you go, okay, well, it's just a sign. It's a sign it's not meant to be. Well, the truth is that no, it's just a sign to learn and grow and take that to the next client or the next opportunity. Right? Successful people have so many of those stories. And understanding that is so, so important. Now, when you come up against that brick wall or the problem or the challenge or the failure, and there's a big wall in the way, you start to actually go, you know what? Like, this means I'm pushing my own potential. So now what I've got to figure out is how do I go through the wall or over the wall, under the wall, round the back? Instead of going, oh, well, here's a wall, poor me, guess it wasn't meant to be, just didn't feel right anyway, right? Once again, we have those stories, those voices in our minds, and they can often be there to protect us, but also they can really get in our way. I love it. This is so, so good. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to do a bit of a brainstorm, once again, on your own piece of paper. I want you to write down, what have you failed at recently? You don't need to put anything in the chat. We don't want to embarrass you here today, but write down, do a bit of a brainstorm on your paper, on your document. If you're on your phone and that's all you've got, get that notes app out and write down, what are the things you've failed at recently? And I'm not just talking about like in creativity or in business, just in general. What things you got wrong and messed up in the last week, month, year, life? Whatever it is, pop it down on the list. What have you failed at recently? It's going to give you a minute or so to see if you can write down a few things. What have you failed at recently? Failure is hard. I'm not taking away from that. I'm also not saying construct failures, like fail on purpose. Oopsies. Now I get to learn. Like, no, right? We don't want to do that. There's going to be enough failures, challenges, broken things along the way. We don't need to construct them. We want to avoid them, absolutely. But when they do come up, okay, where's the learning opportunity from this? It's a bit of a mindset shift, and it's moving away from the, oh, well, I guess I got it wrong, poor me. It's like, well, you're learning, you're growing. If this is the first time you've done this, you're doing great. You're doing great just to keep moving forward, and you're going to break some stuff along the way. See if you can write down another one or two things that you've maybe failed at recently. It could be relationships, it could be friendships, it could be something that you literally broke, or that you failed up to wake to your alarm this morning, right? Pop some more things down there. Yeah, absolutely. There's a good one that's just been added to the chat there. Keeping a consistent workout routine. Yeah, that I think that's a big failure. Many people have, right? Failing to go to the gym when you decided you're going to, or keep up with the gym membership, or going for that walk. Now, the thing here, if you've struggled to write too many things down, or you just got a small list, that might tell us, hey, you know what? You're probably not pushing your own potential. You're probably operating within your safe zone. Right? And that may mean that you're not really growing. If you have a big list of failures, I'm like, wow, you're a super learner. You are pushing yourself, you're pushing your limits. You're getting out there, you're trying things, you're doing things, you're connecting with people. Right? So it's kind of an interesting perspective I have there around that. Right? So part of it here is starting to think about things like failure a little bit differently and understanding that growth is not always going to be comfortable. Right? Doing the hard things now means you're going to have easy life later. If you do the easy things now, life's going to be hard later, right? We can use that idea in many, many, many ways. It's the same with fitness, right? If we just sit on the sofa every day and don't get out there, don't go for the walks, don't try and get some movement in, yeah, it's kind of easy. But the problem is at some point, maybe a few years down the track, things are going to get really hard. As you get older, health starts to deteriorate, things like that. It's the same in business as well. You take the easy roads, if you're not pushing things, trying things, doing the uncomfortable things, well, there's going to be hard roads down the track where you may not have a business. Really, really important. Okay. What I do want to pause and just take a moment to do is to get everyone to share their Instagram again. Those of you that were on yesterday know how that all works, but go grab your URL. I want everyone here to drop their Instagram link in the chat. Go grab the URL, go get a website open, pop that in the chat. We want to get people connecting up here. Celeste from my team is popping our Flamboyant Entrepreneur one as well. Thank you, Celeste. So yeah, everyone pop them in, links. Awesome, I love that coming through. And just go through it and just click other people, see what they're up to, give them a follow, go check out what they're up to, go like some of their things. Building and connecting that creative community is also part of what this workshop's about, part of what the summit is about for these 3 days. I love it. Awesome. So yeah, add them in. If you're still digging around, that's totally fine. Go add it. Add it there. Fantastic. Next thing we're going to talk about, this is kind of a really interesting one, and it's talking about that shift of the idea or the mindset of being an employee to being a business owner. Right? Paul and I talk about this with our clients all the time, right? This is something we see often, is that people can kind of get stuck in thinking more like an employee because that's the experience they've had, right? Okay, I get told what to do, the work I have to do, the time I have to turn up, right? There's rules, is what you get paid, it's how it works, is when you can take holidays. Right? Some employers are like, you have to take your X number of weeks leave, and one of them or two of them has to be when we say it is, because everyone closes the office over Christmas or summer or whatever it is. Well, when you start running your own business, you've got to think quite differently, and you've got to actually start thinking like a business owner, which is incredibly scary. Right? Everyone here is visual creative. That doesn't mean that you've actually signed up to be a business owner. But the truth is, if you want this to be a lifetime creative thing, something that you do and build and be creative full time, then being a business owner is part of it, and accepting you're a business owner is part of it as well. Even if you don't feel like you are, even if you didn't go to college with a business degree. Well, most people we work with haven't. Right. So the truth is that there's often some shifts that need to happen. And one of those shifts in mindset is the mindset of an employee to a mindset of a business owner. And we kind of see this, right? As particularly when people leave their day job, right? We have many people we work with that leave their day job. It's fantastic. It's so exciting. They're like, finally, I've built my business to this point. I can leave the day job, put the notice in. And then sometimes it's like, wow, I've got all this freedom. That's kind of terrifying. When do I get up in the morning? When do I take lunch? When do I have a holiday? Maybe you just work all the time and never have a holiday. Maybe you end up just working all the time, weekends, working late. Right? When you're your own creative business owner, you can wear what you want. You can work in your sweatpants. It's kind of interesting because what we really see is that part of being a creative business owner is bringing that professionalism to it. And part of it is how you treat yourself. And part of that's going to be what you wear. So my recommendation, even though you can wear sweatpants, is don't. Yeah, I don't know about you all, but like when I wear my sweatpants, my yoga pants, I'm just like, I feel like I want to go do yoga, have a nap, maybe go meditate, go for a walk. I do not feel like working. It's like a uniform, right? So part of it is actually putting on the work uniform, right? Even getting ready for work. If you are in creative business right now and you're lucky enough to have the ability to work from home, like, can you have a space that you work from that is not used in other ways, right? Not the kitchen table. Is it a little nook? Is there another room? Have you got an office? So that you actually go to work. So yeah, your commute might be like through a door, but you're still going, getting changed, getting ready, having a commute, and maybe starting at a specific time. So it's kind of an interesting one because I talk about shifting the mindset away from being an employee to a business owner, but I'm also talking about almost treating it like a job sometimes. Right? What would that mean? Well, probably what you wear, probably when you work. Yeah, it's great. You can work whenever you want. Well, when do you want to work? Make a plan, have a schedule. If you like working late, great, work late, but like plan that. Right? It's really interesting because often, we're creative, you're all creative people here, and we want to give you flexibility and freedom, but also we've got to manage actually treating it like a real business. It's very, very interesting. Andrea here sharing in the chat. I find that having little rituals puts me into a work mindset, make the coffee, put in some music that helps me focus, sticking to regular hours from day to day. Fantastic. I love that. Little rituals are so powerful, get you into the mode. This is the thing that we'll forget about is that driving to work is a ritual, right? Where you can kind of get out of the home life and get into work mode, the drive, the commute. Now, I think it's a great thing that as creative business owners, you generally can get out of the commute, save a bunch of time there. But one of the challenges is you don't have that transition time, right? So creating other rituals like making the coffee or putting the work outfit on, even if no one's going to see you, can you still get dressed up? I have some really interesting views around shoes. Right? I just feel more professional when I'm wearing shoes. Isn't that weird? I think it's so weird. Right? If I'm just like hanging out in bare feet or in my comfortable socks, I actually don't feel as, I don't know, professional, right? Because my clients wouldn't just see me hanging out in my bare feet or socks, even though you're not going to see my feet because we're all on Zoom. Right? It's really interesting. So we can talk about that idea of actually getting into an outfit, a costume, a uniform. Part of it is sometimes treating it like a job. What an irony. Isn't that so, so interesting? We often see like many of our clients that are all now working full time, maybe they left a day job or they're already full time in the business when we worked with them, when we started working with them. Some of them were like working a 9 to 5 schedule. It's great. Some work 9 to 3, some work 10 to 5, some work in the evening. Like they get to decide. But it's really interesting how many people start to almost default back to, this kind of timing. Really, really fascinating. Okay. My favorite part of this workshop is talking about self-care. I always say, hell yeah, self-care, right? This is really interesting because when we think about self-care, we often think about self-care as something that's kind of like more of a personal thing, right? Like that's you looking after yourself. The truth is, you are your business, right? If you're getting started as a business, if you're growing a business, if you've been doing this for a while, like the truth is that if you're having a bad time, your business is having a bad time. If you're feeling overwhelmed, your business is feeling overwhelmed. If you don't feel motivated, your business is not motivated. So understanding that looking after you and focusing on self-care is actually an investment in their business. We work with our clients a lot on this stuff when it comes to self-care because it's so easy to be like, oh, that's unrelated to the business. One of the best investments in your business today might not be to go send some more emails or post on Instagram. It might be to go for a walk. It might be to do a 10-minute yoga flow or stretching session. It might be to just go and get some sunshine. Right? Understanding that is so important. If your business is burnt out, if you're burnt out, your business is burnt out. So investing in you is also investing in your business. Now, yes, perhaps your accountant or the government, when it comes to tax, may not agree with that. They might be like, well, a massage is not tax deductible. Well, in some businesses it can be, but it's still an investment in you and it's investment in the business. Really, really important. Yeah, something that we really notice, we'll do this as humans, right? Is that when we get overwhelmed, burnt out, busy, we often lean away from self-care. Isn't that weird? Right? Because we don't have time. Right? I'm so overwhelmed right now. I've got so much to do. I've got to do that. I need to, okay, I'll sleep less. I won't take that walk. I don't have time. I'm feeling stressed. I'm feeling overwhelmed. We actually do the opposite of what we should be doing. And actually, it's those times that you probably do need sleep or you need even more sleep. Isn't that interesting? Taking notice of these self-care things are so, so important. Let's do another brainstorm. So for this one here, I want you to write down, make a bit of a list. What can you do to look after yourself? Just ideas. I'm not saying you have to do these things. I want you to write down a list of ideas. What can you do to look after yourself? What are the options? Write down on your list as many things of you as you can think of to look after you. Could be drinking more water. Could be doing some stretching or some yoga, even if you don't feel like you're a yogi and you don't know what you're doing. Pop open YouTube. There's lots of stuff on there. Maybe it is booking a massage or going for a walk or lying in the grass or going to the forest to breathe some fresh air. What could you do? Maybe it's taking some vitamins. Maybe it's eating some fruit. Maybe it's not skipping lunch or breakfast because you're so busy and you forget about it. See what else you can write down there. What else is good for you? And there might be things you have done before that you know are good for you. There might be things that you've never done before and you're like, oh, that's an interesting idea. What could you do? It could cost money. It could be something that could cost money, but there's a lot that you can do to look after yourself that doesn't need to cost anything. So yeah, people are starting to add to the chat. So definitely would love people to add at least one thing to the chat from your list. Give some other people ideas. If you want to add multiple things, that's fantastic. And then what you can do, once you've dropped something in the chat, go have a look at what other people are writing and maybe steal some of those ideas. I will get to share these things. This is great. What are some of the ideas in the chat there? Oh, I love that one, Tristan. Go to the beach and relax. Nice. Heath, getting out of my house more and around other people. Yeah, nice. Hang out with a dear friend, drinking more water, journaling, taking more walks. So many good things being added in here. Yeah, structure. Absolutely, Vicky. I love that. Structure can be hugely helpful. Pilates, nice. Spending time out in nature, journaling, goal setting, having creative hobbies. Oh, I love it. Yeah, I hear you, Jillian. Absolutely. Stop and stretch, even though when you're in the zone, those of you that maybe have a smartwatch or something, like often they'll actually tell you, like, you should stand up and walk around. It's like, oh, that's a really good idea. Right? It's very easy to be like, I've now been like stuck here for like 3 hours. Okay, well, what can you actually do? Maybe it's just get up and move around, go for a walk. Even just a short one. Go do some burpees. Maybe not burpees, they're horrible, but like jump around, get moving, put some music on. Early morning walks with the dogs. I love it. Call a friend, going out for boba. Yeah, boba's a good one. I love that, Ash. Getting out of isolation. Right. This is a really interesting one there, Vicky. A lot of people do often feel quite isolated as they try and really grow their business. So we've got to remember we've got to get connecting with other people. It's kind of another thing when you've got a day job, you've got colleagues. And sometimes it's a bit harder not having colleagues. Okay, well, you've got to build that community. That's part of why we get people sharing Instagram here as well. And we'll make sure we're connected with you too. Yeah, stop staring at the blank screen. The scrolling, right? The scrolling, right? That's a big one. Time with people I love, positive mindset, Katie, work out, add more discipline to my day, eat good food, read for joy. I love this. There's so many good things in the chat here. Just go through and like literally add them to your own list. Any here that you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, I could do that. Sometimes we just need a few more ideas. Getting off my phone. Something I laugh about with our clients quite a bit is the amazing thing about there's this function on many phones. It's really crazy. It's called airplane mode, and you don't have to be on an airplane to use it. Isn't that weird? Right, we have a bit of laugh at this, but like the truth is that yeah, you can silence your phone. You can change the settings. You can have it so that you've got times during the day where you won't get notifications, won't get interruptions. You can even like delete the Instagram app off your phone for the weekend. And you can add it back in again if you want to. Or maybe not the weekend, maybe just a day, maybe an afternoon. It's actually pretty quick to do that. Sometimes we need to do these things. Lay in the sun and just be. Rhiannon, love that. So good. Okay. This is fantastic. What we're going to talk about next is setting achievable actions. All right. And I'm going to go even further and say setting ridiculously achievable actions. Right. Setting achievable actions. This is going to actually be part of working on your business, but also growing your mindset, is setting small actions that motivate you towards your goals, towards your dreams, towards your visions. Rather than feeling overwhelmed, you've got this big list of stuff to do, it's very demotivating. The truth is that there's going to be a lot of tasks, a lot of things that you're going to have to do to grow this business, no matter where you're at. If you're trying to get your first clients, if you've been doing this for a few years, if you've got this on the side of a day job, if you're full-time already, there's going to be so much stuff to do. It can be kind of terrifying. You can't actually do everything today. There's going to be a ton of stuff to do. But there is things you can do every day. There is things that are going to work you towards the goals. So, if you did something, let's say some of you are already full-time in the business, full-time in your day job. Some of you may have other distractions in life, family, children, whatever that is. Well, what if you just did one thing per day that took 15 minutes towards your goals? 15 minutes. Ultimately, everyone can find 15 minutes. If you did that every day, if you did that every day for an entire year, maybe 15 minutes doesn't feel like much. And you're like, oh, what's the point? Yeah, but if you do that for an entire year, 365 days times 15 minutes, in a year's time, everything's going to look different, right? You're going to have moved things forward. Is it ideal that you maybe spend some more time? Yes. But if you can't, you spend the time that you can, but it's got to be on the right things. And they need to be really achievable, ridiculously achievable actions. But they've got to be towards those goals, towards those dreams, towards those visions. So what we're going to do now is another little brainstorm. I want you to write down, you don't have to put it in the chat, but I want you to write down what are some tasks that you can do that would take less than 15 minutes that can move you towards your goal, whatever that goal is. If it's increasing your revenue right now in the business, if it's expanding what you're doing, if it's getting another client, leaving a day job, whatever the goal is, I want you to write down a list of things that you could do that take less than 15 minutes. It could be on the creative side. It could be creating more designs, artwork, illustrations. It could be something on the business side. It could be, okay, writing a draft of something, a draft template email that you could send out to potential clients. It could be those of you with a website, maybe there's a small update that you've been thinking about doing for ages. Or there's a whole lot of website overhaul needed. So, okay, well, yeah, but what's something that could take under 15 minutes? Bonus if it's something that's like a 5-minute task. And just notice what I said before around this. It's very easy to kind of tell yourself and be like, what's the point? Like, if I only have 15 minutes, what's the point? It's very easy to get caught in that trap. But we've got to remember that it really does add up. So just take down a list of things that you could do under 15 minutes. And just to kind of inspire everyone, pop one in the chat. We want to get some more ideas here. Pop one of them into the chat and then keep adding to your list. And this will start to get some other people thinking. We'll give you some more ideas too. So what is something that you can do? Heath, reach out to new followers on LinkedIn for my business. Nice. Absolutely. That's definitely something you can take less than 15 minutes on. I love that. And even get really specific, right? Like reach out to 3 people. Absolutely. That's very doable. Nice. Upload a social story of my current mural project with music, maybe a time-lapse video of the process. I love that. So good. And even if there's some things that you start to think of that you're like, that could take me longer than 15 minutes, break it down. You might be able to do social media story in less than 15 minutes, great. Or if you can't do that, could you do a draft? Nice, Andrea, doing lettering sketches daily. I love that, definitely. Connect with like-minded creatives. Nice. Yeah, that's an awesome one. There's even some people that you've connected with here. You could direct message someone, say, hey, so cool that you're on that workshop. Love to hear more about what you do. It's easy. It takes like a minute. Research potential clients. Nice. Rihanna, I love that. Karen sharing, making time for painting, design, brainstorming, blog ideas, newsletter lists. Nice. Start sketching thumbnails for my book. Jillian, I love that. That's awesome. Okay, so we're starting to get a few more ideas pop in there. So have a look at that list, see if there's some other things you could add to yours as well. But once again, really understanding that part of this here is making sure that you're moving towards your goals and you're setting those really achievable actions. Because I will say, when you do those things, you feel really good. That's very motivating, and that allows you to do the next thing. And it allows you to start making the time for it. And it allows you to actually feel like you're moving things forward. And as I said, if you just keep doing that every day, or maybe 5 days a week, even 15 minutes, well, you're going to be able to spend more than 15 minutes. And you're going to be able to actually reach these goals and dreams. It's amazing what can happen when you start focusing on even the small things. Because remember, today's topic is about mindset, right? So this is also right. Yes, it moves your business forward, but also it starts to work on your mindset and starts to tell your subconscious mind, I'm an achiever. I can do things. I can take action. I can work towards my goals. Even if it's little things, I can do this and I'm moving forward. And after doing that for a month, you'll start to notice, wow, I'm getting stuff done. That website that I've been talking about updating for like months or even years, I've actually done some stuff on it. Oh, I love that one. Read from professionals. I love books, articles, newsletters. Nice. It's definitely something that you can do and spend 10 minutes on each day. Nice. 15-minute daily doodle, update portfolio, check in on the bookkeeping and invoice payments. Nice, Katie. I love it. Watching some tutorials. Nice. So many good things there. I love it. Okay. What we're going to do is I'm going to take you through one final thing, and then we're going to do takeaways. And as I said, we have got a freebie we're going to be doing as well. The next one I'm going to briefly talk about is this idea of perfection. Perfection. You're all perfectionists. Let's just be honest. I'm a perfectionist. You're a perfectionist. Paul's a perfectionist from the team. Celeste as well. Right? We're all perfectionists. Right? That's because we want to put great things out into the world. That's the truth. Right? Like when you are a creative person, your outlet, your creativity, what you're putting out there is often that reflection of you. It's come from you. It's come from your mind, your soul, your heart. So therefore, you kind of want to make sure it's really good. Now, the truth is that it's a very common thing. It also really gets in the way of taking action, moving forward, getting things done. Now, trust me, it's great to work towards perfection. It's a good thing. We want to put quality out there, but it doesn't need to be perfect before it goes out there into the world. Right? This idea that the creative business has to be done like the right way. While getting out there and doing it, you're actually going to grow, you're going to get better, and you're going to get feedback along the way. We see this all the time where people hold themselves back, sometimes for years, because they're not quite ready yet. Their portfolio is not quite ready. Their art's not quite ready. They're not quite ready. Their mindset's not there yet. The truth is, when you start actually just moving forward, putting yourself out there, and you're just doing your best, I'm not saying just throw rubbish out there, but you're going to learn and you're going to grow. You're going to get feedback and you're going to improve. Right? Anyone that has like 100,000 followers on Instagram right now is very embarrassed about the first post they used to do. And yeah, they can delete them, hide them, and that's fine. But they started somewhere. I love that, Heath. Perfection is the enemy of production. Right? And yes, look, it's finding the balance in these things, of course. As I said, I'm not saying put rubbish out there, but is it that you can put something that's good enough out there? Love it. So we've covered a lot of ground today, right? Part of this here is test these things out, take action. You've got multiple lists now, things that you can work on around your mindset, things that you can actually take action on. See, the truth is that what we've covered today is just the tip of an iceberg of what's going to be required to actually build a long-term creative business, right? That's the truth. And yes, look, we have 3 days of workshops. Today's day 2. Absolutely. You're all here. That's fantastic. The truth is a free workshop's not going to be enough to move things forward. You're probably going to need to dig in deeper. You're probably going to need to work through a bunch of the stuff that gets in the way. And you're probably going to need to figure out a whole bunch of other business elements like the sales and the marketing, right? So we've just really touched the tip of this. So we did this yesterday, but we're going to be doing this today as well, is that we are offering free coaching calls with Paul from the team, right? And I want every single person here to book one, as long as you're good with the caveats. Even if you're like, I don't know if I'm ready, it's fine. This is a free call where Paul will help you to digest what you've learned today and also talk about dreams and goals and those things there as well. If you are interested in talking about how we might be able to support, you can mention that to him as well, and he can mention and take you through what that might look like. But I would love everyone here to help you to digest what you've learned today by booking that call in with Paul. I'm going to drop that link in the chat quite soon. Sorry to those of you that were here yesterday, but I am going to repeat the caveats again. because these are really important. Our caveats, just to keep things clear. Number one is that if you're going to book the call, the free call, one is that you're in a place where you're like, hey, I want to move my business forward. I want to maybe leave my day job or figure out another offering or grow my revenue. You're not just like cruising and like, oh, it'd be kind of interesting to chat with Paul. He seems cool. Okay, it's lovely to chat with him, but we really want you to be somewhere where you're like, oh, I want to learn something. I want to implement something. All right, so that's number one. Number two is that you're willing to open up about where you're at, be a bit vulnerable, share your dreams, right? You might not have said some of these dreams out loud. Say them to Paul. He loves talking to people about the dreams, the goals, and the challenges as well. Basically, what we're saying is that we want you to be open and we want you to be coachable on that free call. Final one is just a courtesy, is that you commit to it, you turn up, you're ready, you're on time, and you're at a table so Paul doesn't get motion sickness. You're holding onto your phone or driving the car out for a run. Right, so just making sure that you're there, you're ready to take some notes. He's going to share some absolute gems. This may be the most important call you'll have in this entire year, is this call that you'll book with Paul. Cool, so I'm going to pop that in the chat. Is everyone good with that? Actually, we'll do what we did yesterday. Can you just write in the chat, yes, happy, good, fair enough. Something just to agree to my my caveats that I've shared there with Paul. I love it. Fantastic. Totally. Thumbs up, different things. Good. Yes. Great. Yeah. I love it. Awesome. Very cool. Okay. Fantastic. All right. So I'm going to pop that in the chat now. Everyone here, if you didn't book it in yesterday, please book that in today. Right. If this is your first call with us today and you weren't on the workshop yesterday, get that call booked in. Right. We had a whole bunch of people book yesterday. Fantastic. I love that. I want everyone else here, whether your video's on or off or you're listening in, as long as you're happy with those caveats, we would love to get you on that free call. So pop that link open right now and go find a time. See if you can get something in the next few days or even next week or the week after. Just see what's available there. You can book it in like 3 weeks, but we're like, try and book it soon so that you can actually digest things from this workshop while those things are fresh for you as well. Okay. So a couple of other housekeeping things. Tomorrow we do have the third day of the summit, same timing, running for an hour, all about pricing. Please, everyone come. It's going to be a fantastic one. It's a really powerful topic. And it's something that I think literally everyone we speak to struggles with. Sometimes the people that are like, yeah, I'm good with that stuff. Then we dig in and we're like, okay, there's actually some stuff there that you need to work on. So powerful topic. Make sure you come tomorrow. Now, we have a couple of things here I'm going to share. I'm just going to pop this in the chat. I did mention we've got a cool little freebie. I want everyone to grab this one here. It's just a really simple little downloadable. It's basically called the morning routine checklist. It's a fun free checklist there that helps you to win the day. It's something that I created. It's quite interesting. You don't have to get up at 5 a.m. to do these things, but there's probably 1 or 2 things there that will be really good for you to build into your morning routine. So go grab that, open up that link. You can actually download it once it opens up, but make sure you do grab that. I'll just pop that in the chat. Then we have an action item from today, apart from booking a call. The action item is that I want you to do one thing in the next 24 hours before tomorrow's training that is looking after you, right? One of those wellness things, right? I want everyone here, you wrote down some ideas, what you can do to look after yourself, go for a walk, do some yoga, whatever it is. I want everyone here to commit to one of those things. Like go right now, find that page or your document, go circle the thing that you're actually going to do. Could be stretch, could be a walk, could be drink more water, could be drink a whole glass of water, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Something small. Make it really achievable, ridiculously achievable. But I want you to make sure you do that and put some of these things into action that we've been talking about today. Very, very cool. Okay, fantastic, fantastic. And just a reminder, in terms of the calls, Celeste from our team, who's here today with us as well, is going to reach out to you just to finalize some details around that call as well. There's a quick form we want you to fill in that will just help Paul prepare for that call as well to make sure you can get the most from it there as well, which is good. Cool. So I want everyone, as we wrap up, to pop into the chat a takeaway from today. What did you learn? What was interesting? What was helpful? Right, let's just get a few things. Let's kind of just take a few minutes before we wrap up to think about what did we cover today. We covered a lot. Fired through things. I know there's probably some lists and brainstorms, some ideas and notes. Good. I love that. Everyone pop one thing in the chat. This is awesome. I'm just loving all the things popping up here. I'm going to read through a bunch of them. Can you put something out there that is good enough? After years in corporate design, always striving for perfection and nothing ever being good enough, hearing that encouragement is a huge mindset shift. Amazing, Rana. I absolutely love that. Isn't it interesting, the mindset stuff that can get in the way? Right? And recognizing it. Can it be good enough? Doesn't have to be perfect, but can it be good enough? I have a friend of mine who has a bit of a mantra. He's like, good enough. And it's a great little mantra, good enough. It's not saying it's bad. It's like, it's good enough. So good. Love that mantra. Love the 15-minute action taking daily. Yeah, it's such a powerful one, that 15 minutes. Right, one thing. If you can do one thing each day, powerful. Tristan shared growing through discomfort. Yeah, it's really fascinating, that one. Just watch when you start to feel like, oh, this doesn't feel comfortable, or I'm not in flow, or this doesn't resonate. Well, okay, is it just fear? And maybe it's new and that you haven't done this thing before, and that can be kind of terrifying. Okay, what can you do? Joe sharing, start thinking and behaving like a business owner and someone who earns 10K per month. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Take action on achievable goals. Take care of you first. Act like you're a business owner. Nice. Right? Even if you are not a business owner, you don't feel like you're a business owner. Okay, what can you do to actually start being a business owner? Mindset is just as important as the professional work and skills themselves. Yeah, I love that. I love that you really heard that. It's that foundation of absolutely everything. Right? So important. The mindset stuff is absolutely key. Self-care needs more focus. Yep. Self-care is an investment in my business. Geneva, nice. Turning failures into positive points. Mind switch. Nice. Perfectionism is the enemy of production. Yeah, that is a good one. I love that was shared. Set achievable actions to reach your goals. Little things add up. Oh, there's so many great things being added into the chat here. I absolutely love this, everyone. This is fantastic. Katie, you shared, when overwhelmed by tasks, instead of freeze, quick 15-minute whirlwind, and remember, I'm an achiever. I can take action. I can work towards my goals. And that's the point. You're going to get something done. You're going to put that 15 minutes in. Great. You keep doing that every day. Fantastic. But also, you're going to start to tell yourself, I can do this. I'm an achiever. I can get things done. I can move towards my goals. I can take time out of my chaotic, busy, crazy schedule and still move things forward anyway. So good. Awesome. I absolutely love it. I'm just going to pop Paul's link in there once again. If you have not grabbed that yet, please grab it now so that you can book in a call directly afterwards. As I said, I would love absolutely everyone here to book in that call with Paul sometime within the next 2 weeks. Find a time with Paul. He is lovely to speak with. I know some of you that were with us yesterday heard him speak as well. He is the creative business consultant and coach on our team. He is absolutely phenomenal to talk to, and everyone always really raves about those calls, finds them really, really powerful. All right, we're going to wrap things up there. Reminder, tomorrow we'll see you all here. Looking forward to it. Same Zoom link again, same details. We'll make sure we send out some reminders as well. Take care, everyone. I'll stick around for a minute or two in the chat, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Rock on. Okay, those of you that were watching the recording, thank you so much. I know it would have been lovely for you to be there live, but I totally understand that life can happen. Try come tomorrow if you can to day 3. Otherwise, we'll make sure we send out the recording for that as well. Hey, just a reminder, the call opportunity, the freebie call with Paul from my team is for you as well, right? We will leave that open for the next day or 2. So please make sure you go and book that in. We'll include the link in the email where you've probably found this. So please just make sure you go through, get that call booked in. Paul would love to connect with you. We'll obviously get in touch beforehand so you can fill in a few details. So keep an eye out for that email from Celeste as well. But honestly, would want to make sure that you get that call booked in as well. Awesome, and hope to see you on tomorrow's training. Rock on.